All right, so it's almost time for us to head to the Punta Cana airport and get back to the United States. As many of you know, coming back in the U.S. can sometimes be a real hassle going through passport control. Unless you have global entry, you could be faced with huge lines and a long wait time. But there's a new travel hack out there, just released a few months ago. The government has an app that you can download called MPC, Mobile Passport Control. It doesn't require any interviews. You just set it up on your phone, answer a few questions, enter who's traveling with you. It'll save the information for future travels. You put in some of your passport information, and supposedly you fill out a form right when you arrive at your airport that you're coming back in the US at, and you'll get a QR code that you can then show at passport control and go right through the line. So we've never used this travel hack, but we're going to use it today, and we'll show you, does it work? Does it cut your time when you arrive back in the US? We're going to find out.
I sure hope so. I hate waiting in lines.
And of note, this beautiful room here at the Majestic Elegance that you see in front of you, it's undergoing a major renovation in about 2 or 3 days. So we are going to be the last persons to stay in this room. And this was the original room that was created about 15 years ago when the resort first opened. But within 3 months, all the rooms will be renovated and they'll look brand new. So we are the last.
And we had a great stay in this room. I'm gonna miss it.
All right, let's get to the airport. Waiting for our pickup to go back to Punta Cana airport, which is always a crowded mess when we've been there before. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. We took Diamond Transport back to the airport. We've used them more than once and it's always worked out well. I'll put a link below. The long line you see is for those waiting to check a bag. So if you want to speed things up, just take a carry-on. That's what we did. And with just a carry-on, we made it through security fairly quickly, and we ended up in the duty-free shop. Now, we entered and left Punta Cana through Terminal B. They recently added more gates, and they're expanding. All right, so we made it to our gate here in Punta Cana. We're in Terminal B, which is where American flies out of. Let me give you some tips. Try to come here and don't check a bag, do carry on. And then check in on your phone before you leave the hotel, get your boarding pass, because that way when you arrive here, you can skip the long line at the American desk, and you can go right to your gate. Now, there's 3 checkpoints to get to your gate, right? 3 checkpoints. Yeah, first checkpoint was a passport control. They check your passport. Second checkpoint is where you take your belt off your shoes and they scan your bags. Then there was another third checkpoint, which was also passport control. I don't know why they have 2, but there's the third one is a passport control also. Then you'll be in Terminal B, and Terminal B has doubled in size since we were here in January. So there's a whole wing for the higher gates and a wing for the lower gates. Our flight left on time, and soon we're heading back to the United States. When we got close to the Charlotte airport, we opened up the MPC app. You first answer a series of questions, such as, are you transporting a large amount of currency? Do you have fruits, vegetables, meat, live animals with you? As well as several other questions. After the questions are done, you'll then be asked if you've arrived at the airport yet. As soon as you land, answer yes to that question and then hit submit. You'll then be given a QR code which will quickly get you through passport control and customs. Well, at least that's what they tell you.
Good luck!
You're ready?
So far this MPC app seems like some sort of a joke because we're on the same line with everybody else. And the line here at Charlotte looks like I've never seen it like this. It's literally out the door. After waiting on a combined line for 30 minutes, a separate line formed for those with the MPC app. So we made it to Charlotte Airport. So how did the MPC app do for getting us through customs? An epic fail. I'll tell you about it when we get to Myrtle Beach.
The Punta Cana airport was very nice, but the MPC app that we used when we went to Charlotte really didn't speed along our process to go through customs.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, the app was easy to set up and use, and we generated the QR code that was needed without a problem. But once we got to the airport, first we're on a line with everybody else, then it split into a separate line with the MPC people. But that was a single file line, and they only had one person checking the QR code. So we waited in customs for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
We nearly missed our connecting flight in Charlotte, so they got to improve things, I have to say. Now we'll give it a second try when we travel again and come back through customs of Charlotte, but boy, right now I'd say that app is a fail, right?
Yeah.
Down, down. All right, thanks for watching and safe travels.